Eminence in the Shadows is a show I've been sitting on for quite a while. I simply wasn't expecting for a show to be this good when I haven't even heard of it. The show is an isekai with an overpowered main protagonist. The show is self-aware, has good storytelling, action, sound design, and animation. The only little problem I found is how funny it tries to be sometimes. I personally don't like the humor, but you might enjoy the funny aspects of the show more than me. Let's get into the actual review now. The way the story is told is a little odd, to be fair. Sometimes it's very serious, whilst at other points it decides to try and be very funny. The funny elements seem like filler, and this can be monotonous. At least that's only a small section of the show. Whenever the storytelling becomes more serious, it does a way better job of being entertaining. Also, the filler parts of the story build the main protagonist. For some, these elements of the story are a lot more important than they are to me. The story follows our protagonist, who's obsessed with becoming strong. Also, he views people as protagonists or side characters. He's pretty insane, and after realizing that he's reached his peak strength in the real world, he decides to commit Sudoku. His goal was to reincarnate in another world so he can become stronger in that world. For stupid reasons, this actually works, and he is reincarnated into a fantasy world. Obviously, after this, he decides to try and become as strong as possible with the resources that are available to him in this fantasy world. This is a very fast description of the story without giving you any large spoilers. There are two main aspects to our protagonist. He's either obsessed with becoming as strong as possible, or he become a roleplay freak. You might be asking, what do you mean by he's a roleplay freak? Well, I'll simply explain that he's really into acting like an NPC. He'll act out ideas or moments in his head so he can become the perfect NPC. Then later, he'll actually do these things. This is simply a hobby of his. He likes to experience these odd situations for the first time in his life. Like I said before, he views people as protagonists or NPCs. He kind of seems to have an alternative personality, and I don't mean that in the scientific sense. He literally makes alternative identities for himself. There are many other characters that are also important besides the main protagonist. There's a large range of characters, however most of them are women. The MC is the only male character in the whole show that's actually important. The rest of the important men seem to be villains. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find at least one character that you'll like either way. In my opinion, action is amazing. It's specifically good with how the powers are presented and used. It's also very good at keeping you on the edge. You don't always know who's gonna win, as the main character is kind of a goofball a lot of the time. There are indeed moments where he will just outright throw the fight just because he wants to be more like an NPC. However, his alternative personalities don't hold back as much. Whenever he's not trying, the other characters are a lot more interesting and important. There are some deep elements to the fighting styles and magic used as well. The actual fights are both snappy and smooth depending on the fighting style of the characters. Overall, I think the action is just very well balanced and well done. The best element of the sound design is by far the voice acting. It does an amazing job of selling some of the scenes for you, especially in the sub. The music used for the different scenes is good, and so are the overall sound effects. Honestly, all of these elements of the sound design are amazingly done. There are so many different ways that the music or the sound effects are used to elevate the actual action or just the scenes by themselves. There are some extra spicy sound effects added to the voices. It adds an element to the voice acting that I never knew I needed. Here's a little example. I don't think there are many shows that decide to elevate the actual voice acting to this degree, which is why I absolutely loved it. Just a little reminder, make sure to subscribe. Only 11% of you viewers are subscribed, and that would help us a lot. I love the animation, and the art style is very good. The visuals are amazing whenever abilities are being used. This is especially visible when the main protagonist uses his main ability. However, the rest of the powers used also have amazing visuals. They really put a lot of effort into making the fantasy element look amazing. I also think the environment and character designs are very good. The art style expresses the fantasy elements with the colors used. The purple tones and pink highlights make things seem more magical. Overall, there isn't anything that I would change about the animation of the show, as it suits it very well. There's a lot more to the show, however I'm trying to spoil as little as possible. I just hope more people check out the show after this video. I'm not sure if there'll be a continuation, but whenever it comes out, I'll make sure to make a video about the show. If you want me to make more videos about this anime, leave a like, and if you enjoyed the video, check out some of our other videos. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.